In lab 1, we created levels, grids, and columns. And in this lab, we're gonna learn how to create some architectural components such as the wall, floors, and doors. So let's first go to TOF view. In the project browser, go to floor plans and double click TOF. And in the tabs here, you can see which floor view we are in. So first, we're gonna create walls. In the architecture tab here, we can see wall. And let's choose architecture wall. And now you can see in the properties, it switched from the view to basic wall. And open the drop-down menu. You can see all kinds of wall here. We have basic wall, curtain wall, and stacked wall. So as you can see in the slides, in the Revit, we have something called family. And the basic wall and curtain wall in the higher hierarchy is called system family, which we cannot modify. But our components under the basic wall is called component family, which we can modify the size as we did for the columns. So in our case, we're gonna choose basic wall generic 8 inches. And as it's similar with the column, in the option bar, you can see the head and location lines. So we need to make sure the top constraint is to level 1. By default, it may be unconnected. You can change it here or here. They are connected. So we need to make sure change it to L1. And there's a location line. So as the name itself, it just determines the location where you put the wall. So let's try wall center line first. Okay, if I choose the intersection of the grids, and you can see it just located at the center of the wall with the grids. Okay, so now the wall looks like this. Is this what we want? We can check the instructions. So the wall should be, the exterior face should be aligned with the column, but currently it's not the same conditions, right? So one way, if you already draw something, you can do is to use the align functions we learned in the last lab. You can align with the column space with the wall face. But another easier way is actually we do it right in the first place. So if we go to architecture wall and choose the same wall here. And let's try something called finish face, exterior or interior. Interior, let's see. And now we choose the corner of the column, right? And here is the location we want. And now we just keep continuing, drawing it, choose the corner of the column. And and we're done. So in the 3D view, if you click the little house icon here, and go to 3D view. So 3D view is a good place to check the height of your columns and also your walls. You can see it's only from TOF to L1. If I change it to unconnected, and you can see the unconnected head is 3 inches, so you cannot see the changes. But if I change it to 8, you can see the changes. So let's make sure it's to L1. So this is basically what you need to do in the exercise 2.1. And next, let's draw some wall foundations. So still make sure we are in the TOF view. We already opened one, so we can close it. In the TOF, so we go to structure tab. because foundation is kind of a structure. And you can see there is a structure foundation wall. And still in the properties, we can see all the size we have here. So we want to choose bearing footing and this kind of size. So yeah, we already choosing this one. So how should we draw foundation walls? So the wall foundation is basically based on the wall you draw. So you can just simply click the wall and it can automatically generate a foundation for that wall. So let's try it. So make sure we choose this one. And let's click. So if you hover your mouse here, you can see it turns blue, which means you're gonna choose this one. And let's click it. And then you can see there's a warning here. None of the create elements are visible in floor plan TOF view. This is expected. So we're in a 2D view, right? And there's something called view range, which makes us cannot see it. But in the 3D view, because it's not 2D, and we can just see everything we created. So here we go. So we actually created one foundation here, but we just cannot see it in the TOF. So there are two ways to do this. First, we can just go to wall foundation and create the foundation here. So now we need to click another wall, just click it, and you can see you created a foundation wall, right? So it's really easy, but still in the TOF, we cannot see it. So a better way is to change the view range. So how can we change it? So we are in the TOF view. When we didn't choose anything, any components in the view, in the properties, it's gonna show the property of the floor plan, which is gonna be in the under the extent, you can see there's a view range. So in the slides, there is a detailed explanation how this works. As you can see here, we have three primary parameters, which is top, cut plan, and bottoms. Let's explain a little bit. Okay, so the cut plan in our situation is associated label TOF. And it has an offset, which is 4 inches. And top line is 7 feet 6 inches. So actually what we can see is from the bottom to the top, right? And now we have only 1 feet, and top we can see is 4 feet 6 inches. And the bottom we can see is -3 feet. But the wall foundations we created are lower than TOF, right? We can see it in the elevations view. Okay. So this is our wall foundations. If you click it, you can see it's wall foundations. And you can see it's lower than -3. But what we can see is from 0 to 4 feet 6 inches. So we cannot see it. So we can just simply modify the bottom offset. So let's do it. Let's go back to TOF. Make sure in the properties, we can see the floor plan, and then we can find that there is a view range. So let's change it to -1 foot and click apply. So there's gonna be an arrow says view depth plan is above the bottom clip lines, which means the view depth should be aligned with the bottom offset. So we can just simply change it to the same value of the bottom. Make sure they align with each other. And then if you click apply, now you can see the foundations, right? So again, the current view range is from 0 to 4 feet 6 inches. And we move the bottom offset to -1. And then we can see the foundations. Okay. So in Revit, there's something very interesting is we can change the wall profile. So if you click the wall and go to edit type, and we can see more detailed properties of this wall. So under the construction, you can see the structure and still click edit. And you can see the very detailed layers of this wall. And what we want to do is we want to modify the materials we use for this wall. So same thing. So first we need to duplicate this wall to make sure we still have the original wall in our library. So let's choose another wall first because this wall has similar structures with the wall we want to create it. So what I want is basic wall exterior brick on CMU. Let's go to Revit. Close. So choose another wall here. Go to architecture, wall architecture, and choose this one, exterior brick on CMU. And some procedures, edit type. So make sure we use duplicate, okay? And what's the name we want to? Okay, exterior wood siding. Let's copy and paste. And click OK. Okay, let's see it first. So now we have the wood siding we just duplicated. And also we have the original exterior brick on CMU. That's why we need to do a duplicate. Otherwise, there's gonna be no brick on CMU anymore. So we can take a look what it currently looks like, and we're gonna change the functions, materials, and the thickness. So let's do it. Let's see what's the final results. Modify the profile, the same as the figure. So this is we're gonna achieve. Yes. Okay, perfect. So as the corner, left corner bottom here, we can see a preview. So this is our current structures of this wall, and we're gonna change it to this structure and layers. So first finish, it's the same. Okay, the material is not the same. So how should we change it? There is a little 3 dots here. So we just click it. You're gonna pop up a library here. And sometimes you may not see here, right? Your interface may not like this. It may look something like this. And sometimes we confuse, there's nothing here. You can just drag, extend the windows here, okay? Or something like this, material libraries. If you don't have it, you just click this arrow here. Okay. So first, we want is siding. So as you can see, nothing here, right? So it's not in our current library, but we have something called material libraries. And if you cannot see it, just click the arrow here. And now you can see siding cardboard, which is what we need. And now we click this arrow here to add its material to document. Okay, and then we click OK. So now we also need to change the thickness, which is 0.2. There we go. And also we arrow value for because I accidentally put a equal. And now you can see this changes in real time. And second layer is a membrane layer. And changing materials should be air. So we have it, and let's click it. This should be 0. Third one is subtract. So just follow the figure and do the same for all the layers. Okay, so now you can see we only have 3 layers before the core boundaries, but now we have another one. So you can just put your mouse hand over here. You can see the arrow. So now if you click it, you can choose the whole row. And at the bottom, you can see the delete. So just delete it. And for the structure, we have a softwood. Change it to softwood, which is a number. Okay, click OK. So this is the same. We don't need to modify it, but we need to modify the thickness. Okay, so now we're exactly the same what we want. And click OK. So now your wall profile should be something like this. Another issue maybe happen is, okay, let's click OK first. So some of your profile maybe looks like this, right? You have thicker lines, more heavy lines. This is just because of the line type. So in the option bar here, you can see you have thin lines we mentioned in the last lab. If you make sure it's enabled, see now it's blue, it's enabled. And now if we go back to check, now you have a thinner lines. Okay. So this is your exercise 2.2. So now we need to use what we created to create the wall for level 1. So remember, we only got the wall for TOF. We have nothing for level 1. And this is the wall we're gonna use for level 1. So for TOF to level 1, we use this one. And for level 1 to level 2, we're gonna use the wall we just created. So we go to level 1 first. And just follow the instructions, make sure you're in L1 view and choose the wall type we just created and set up the constraint. And then we're gonna create the exterior wall, which is gonna be the same the rectangular. So go to wall architecture. This is the wall we just created, right? So make sure you are in L1 view, okay? And the constraint is from L1 to L2. So we just do the same what we do for the TOF. And you can check in the 3D view. Right now we have a wall for your first level. And you can see this is the wall we created. And this is the wall we created before. It's different types, okay? Make sure you use the correct type of wall. And now we also need to create some interior walls. And we choose this type, 5 inches. Okay, go to wall architecture. Let's find it. Interior, this one. And we need to make sure it aligns with the dimensions. So I need it from here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so from here to here, there's no problem. So now we choose wall center line and go to credit. Let's see. Yeah, the size is a bit off. We can just modify it. To make sure it aligns with the columns, right? Okay. So we have something here, which we can use the reference plan we used in level 1. So in the architecture refine, so create one here. And let's do some dimensions. So it should be like 4 feet. 6 feet, so inches. Okay, perfect. So you can see we have slightly differently from the dimensions here, which is totally fine. Because if you look in details, okay, here, for this dimension, it starts from the exterior finish face of the wall, right? You can see here. But in our dimension, we start from the center line of the wall. So it's totally fine to have this little off because we measure differently. And there's another one. And let's follow this dimension here. So we need to measure. You can see it's the exterior face here. So we should measure from here, not here. Measure the exterior face of the wall to the grid lines. And change the dimension to 7, 8. Okay. And then we go to wall architecture, choose the same wall here, and let's create as well. And Okay, create this wall first. Okay, now we also have the interior walls. Okay. Now we should have some doors and windows. Let's first create a garage door for the first level. So let's still go to level 1 because the garage door gonna be located at level 1. And if we go to door here, you cannot see any garage door. But in Revit, we can insert some families from their own library. So go to Insert tab and load Autodesk family. Gonna be a window pop up. So make sure we choose the correct units. So we choose region from United Kingdom to US Imperial. And in the browser, we find the doors. Okay, so you can see all kinds of doors here. But we want a garage door. So just search here and choose this one. And click load. And now if we go to the door again, you can see the door we just loaded in. Okay. Let's see if we need to modify anything like the size. No, we just put it door here. So there's no constraint like a strict dimension where you need to put a door, just put it on this wall here. And also you can see the different directions, right? Like if you put your mouse in the exterior face of this wall, it's gonna be correct. But if you put it interior face of the wall, it's gonna be incorrect. And you can check it in the 3D view. Okay. And now let's insert some windows. So it's similar, we choose windows and just make sure you have the correct type of windows, correct type and the size of windows. We want the window double. Okay, let's find it. Let's go back to L1, Windows. Okay, I think it's this one. Yep. So the sill height is basically the distance from the floor to the bottom of your windows. And we just use the default numbers. Okay. So in the exercise, we ask you to put some door first, and also the windows. Okay. Since we already have the window, we just go for the window first. So we need to put 8 of them as shown in the figure. Okay, so you can see the drawing. This represents windows, I'm sure you know. Let's see, 8 of them. We use this type of windows. Okay, we'll put 2 here. So as same as the garage doors, you can see the slightly difference when you hand over your mouse in the interior face or in the exterior face, right? So we need to put it exterior. We can also double check in 3D view to see which is correct. So this is the correct side. So make sure you have the correct side of your windows. And you can also see in the interior, it looks like this, right? Okay, let's go back to L1 and put all the windows. So we have 2 here, put another one here. And 2 for here. One for here. So for L1, we want to make sure you just follow all the instructions. I know you may want to put some fancy windows, and we're gonna allow you to do that in level 2. Okay, perfect. We have the 8 windows, and all facing the same in the same direction. So we also need to put some doors, right? We choose door, passage, single, 2. So similarly, go to doors and single 2. What's the size? Okay, we don't have it. We need to load the type of door. So similarly, go to insert, load Autodesk family. Just double check it's in the same units and doors. So let's see what's the keywords. Yeah, this is what we need. Too late. And we just load all the dimensions. Now it automatically have it. And see what's the size. Single toilet. Go back to your one. Do the door locations, same as the drawings. So see, so for the doors like in the real life, you can only put the door on the wall, right? But you cannot do anything here, or you cannot do anything. Cannot put a door in the windows. So we have to put a door in the walls. So still the same. You can see we have different opening directions. You can see. And we don't have to determine it here. So even if you just put it here, you can see there's some switch arrows here. You can do this, and now we in this correct direction. So same for this, and another one, and another one here. Okay, I have 4 doors here, and you can also check in the 3D view. And the final components we want to add is slabs and floors. So first, we need to create a slab for the foundation, which we go to TOF. And choose the foundation slab. So under the structure tab, slab, structure foundation slab. And let's see what's the size. We choose 8 inches. We don't have it. So we can just make one by ourselves. Hit type, duplicate. So now it should be 8 inches. So in the structure, edit, can modify the thickness. Okay. And I will have 8 inches foundation slab. Okay. So the slab should be, we should draw this in L1 view. Okay, make sure you're in L1. And you can see the view is kind of grayed out, which means we are in the drawing mode of a slab. And we can choose the different ways we can draw the slab. You can use a line or use rectangular. So let's try something easy. We just use rectangular. And make sure we choose the corner of the wall. And just find another point, another corner of the wall. This purple line means the boundary of your slab. Okay. And now another very important thing, we want to make sure the height of from level is -1 inches. Let's double check. Yeah, it's gonna be -1 inches. So make sure you put a negative here and 1 inches. Okay. And then we click finish edit mode. And now you can see the 3D view have a slab here. And we can now see it. It's the same reason because of the view range. So sometimes it's gonna show pop up a window ask you, would you like walls to go up to the floors level to attach these buttons? And if it shows up to you, you just click attach. So the wall gonna attach with the slab we just created. And next we're gonna create some different materials for these rooms. So similarly, we just use carpet. Let's see, texture, floor. And we don't have a carpet, so same thing, we just make one by ourselves. Duplicate and name it. So same, modify the structure. What we need is structure and should be carpet. So make sure it's 1 inch, not 1 foot. Okay, it's too thick for 1 foot. So 1 inch. Click OK. Click OK. So now we have a carpet here. So here's this method we used before. We choose a corner to another corner to make a rectangular. And click OK. Okay, now this shows up. Select walls that go up to its floor, attach to its bottom, just click attach. Now if we go to 3D view, you can see we have a cabin here. So in the garage part, we want to use another floors. So similarly, we just created one by ourselves. So go to floor, architecture floor. Okay, let's do. And just change the materials here. What kind of materials? This one, and click OK. So you have the same thickness. Okay. Okay. Go back to L1. Now we cannot use rectangular anymore because it's not in that shape. So we just use lines. Oops. Yeah, this should go all the way here. And click OK. So now we have a slab and also have architectural floor. Okay, let's double check. For the floor, it's here. Okay. Yeah, I see some issues here. This should be in QF. C QF. Yeah, there are some issues. So all the labs are in QF. It should be in L1, right? Because we're creating L1. Okay, let's just change it. This is in L1. This is in L1. Okay, perfect. And for the slide, so exercise is create the slide for your one. Okay, make sure all the floor is for your one. Yeah, make sure that all in L1. Let's check. Okay. So the assignment gonna be the models we finished in this lab, including all the elements you create in lab one, and also columns, walls, and all foundations, and also slabs. And if you have any questions, just come to the lab, and I'll be there for answering any questions.